Hello again, everyone. I'm still thinking about using up patterned papers. So these are some of the nicer ones that, in my opinion, that I kept back, but I still have never got around to using them. Yesterday I did a video where I die cut some large words from patterned paper, and today I want to do kind of two things, which is why I've dug out the fact that there's two the same of each. What I want to do is to make a card using some die cut circles to make birds. I have seen it on Pinterest or somewhere where somebody just had a circle and folded it, and hey presto, it was a bird. So I'm going to try and do that. But the second piece that I want to use is to make a lining for the envelope for that card so that it matches. So today I thought I would use a square card, my usual just under 6-inch square. This is the panel for it. The base is behind me. This is the envelope that it'll be going into. So let me just do the envelope first to get that out of the way. I've only got one of those. I've only come across one of those, so I won't use that for the moment. Although, because it's from the same pad and so the colours are all in keeping, as I've got the same, I thought I would use the same. So I can choose one of. Let's just have the plain green. It's not a complete lining, but it's enough to show when whomever opens the envelope. So all I do is this. Place this just inside the area where the sticky is. Now this one has got a rounded edge, so I'm going to do the same thing with my piece of patterned paper. The first thing I'm going to do is to round the edge. So I've got a couple of corner rounders, I think that's what I call them, here. These are by We Are Memory Keepers, and each side is a different sort of angle. Now, as you go smaller, it needs to be a tighter one, so it's either going to be the 1/4 on there or the 1/8 on there. I'll try the 1/4 on this one first. If it doesn't fit, then I can go smaller again. So let's try the 1/4. See what that looks like. And that's about right. Because as the thing gets smaller, you need a tighter curl. Okay, I just pop those back in the drawer. So what I'm going to do is this. Place that in there, just inside that sticky. Then I'm going to get a ruler and I'm just going to draw a line on this paper just inside the envelope line, like that. It's not a complete lining, it won't line everything, but it doesn't matter. And here. Then all I'm going to do is cut off along those lines. Now I went a bit skew-if there because I was trying to cut with the pattern, but we'll see. Then all I have to do, I need a bit more off this right-hand side. I was trying to be clever. Can you see the cutting line is still there? I'll come in a bit. I was trying to keep parallel with the dots, and I don't know if they are actually parallel to the paper. Anyway, let's just see. Let's get this in here for a minute. Yes, that looks fine. Now all I have to do is add some glue to the inside of this. So I'm going to use my tape runner, and I'm just going to go like this and like this. Go a bit closer to the edge, and then I'm going to push it down into the envelope. I'm going to place it. Should have put my glue stick on, shouldn't I? inside like that. Then all we have to do is fold this over and crease. So when the person opens the envelope, it'll look like it's lined. It doesn't actually show through onto the front, so it doesn't look like we're, you know, we're being cheapskates, but we actually are. So there. So there's the lining of the envelope. So I'll put that away for 1 minute. Now, my idea for these, I'm going to use a bit of those presently for the beaks of the birds. So I have got 3 different size circles. So we've got kind of a father bird, a mother bird, and a baby bird. So, you know, we'll see how we go. So I'm going to cut these from this paper, all 3. So let's cut 1, 2, 3. And I've also found, I can't remember the make of this, but this one went with, it has a little arrow that went with it as well. And I used these for some wedding invitations where it was for my daughter-in-law's sister. I made the wedding invitations and she wanted the heart on a tree with an arrow. So that's where that came from. So I'm going to cut those as well. They are going to be the tails of the birds, those little hearts. So let's just pop this onto my die cutting machine, and I'm just going to cut out these 3 birds. My daughter and her family have just come back from Greece, and I was admiring some photographs, and I didn't realise at the time that they were actually pointing to the little chapel on the top of the hill where the wedding was supposed to take place in Mamma Mia. And then there was one with my nephew going like this, as if holding his arm up, as if he was holding the church in his fingers. Then I kind of, it dawned on me what was going on. Right, here are my 3 birds. There's a tail, there's a tail, and there's a tail. Okay. Now, to make the birds, all that this lady did was to fold the circle, not completely in half, just partly in half. I will use my bone folder again just to give that a nice... And I think for the little bird, we'll probably do it the other way round so that the lighter bit is on the outside. Okay. These are bodies, you understand. These are bodies. And the mother, she can go the same way as the dad, I think, really. Let's just do this. Okay. This will involve a little bit of drawing, not much, just a couple of stick lines for the legs. So we'll just see how we go. So these are the tails. So we've got the big tail. Depends which way they're going to face, really. And the tail's going to go like that. And the mama tail, I think, is going to have to go like that. And the baby tail, I think, I've got my thing from scrapbook.com here to keep my pokey tool still. Might just have to go, let's turn that over so we have the other side. Kind of like that. Might have to put it at a perky angle. Okay, now then, I need a beak and an eye. Let's just look for eyes. I thought I could do, I had a practice here. I started partially colouring with a black marker, but I think I'm going to totally, oops, that's the wrong end, cover it with a black marker. So that's going to be an eye, one for the mum, one for the dad, and then I'll get a smaller one for the tiddler. Okay, there's a smaller one. Do you know, I really probably should have put this colour on the actual cut once it was on the paper, because unless I let that dry, when I put my finger on to release it from my pokey tool, I'll knock some of the colour off. But I can always redo it, can't I? Let's see. Okay, here's my card base. So what am I thinking? We need one bird and another bird and a little bird. Okie dokie. So if we put his tail going this way and her tail going, this one, the heart seems to lend itself to go that way, so she's got to be facing this way. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking. Perhaps move them a little bit further apart so I've got room for the beaks, and the tiddler down here, and I think the little one can be facing this way. Let me just flatten that just a tad. I'll probably put a glue dot underneath just to hold it. So the fold over, you see, in my estimation, is the attempt at being the wing over the side of the bird. Okay, so now we need to have beaks. This is where these bits come in. So I think I will just do that. There's a beak, and I'll cut off another end. Can see a pencil line on that one. I'll do it off this one. Let's give her a chubbier one. It seems the angle seems to be a little smaller. There we go. Put that there. And then, I don't know about this tiddler, what we're going to do for him. Do you want a little tiny one? Just a little tiny one off the front of this, I think. Okay. Put it that way. And then draw some legs. And put the eyes on. I think we're kind of there. So let me just start sticking these together. Let's have, I think I may do a little bit of tufts of grass with my little tufty grass stamp. I'll have to find a colour that matches, because I'd like it kind of all the same, really. So let's just, I think I might get glue dots. Let's just put a couple fairly close in here. That'll keep it down a bit, but the edge will be slightly raised. Okay. There we go. See, that won't lift up now, but it isn't flat down. And let's put a little bit of glue on the back of this and just tuck it under the wing. Where's my tweezers? Okay, that's going to go just in there. Okay, and the tail in the other end. Yeah, there's the daddy bird, minus his legs. I'll give him his eye in a moment. Let's do the same thing for the mum. We'll put the wing, make sure the wing stays down. I'm putting these dots fairly close to the fold so that the wing will stay down but not totally glued all the way round. So let's put the tail in. There we go. And the beak. It's so small. It is small. There we are. There she is. And the little one. Let's do get rid of some of this excess paper. Right. One will do for him. There we are. And the tail. Put the glue on the wrong side, really. Let's put it on the other side. There's his little tail. Now his little beak. Oh, for goodness sake. There we are. Now, the eyes might be dry by now. Let's just put the eyes on. One for the dad. Oh! One for the mum. And where's the little one? Here it is. One for the little one. There we go. They're coming to life, aren't they? Now, I need to decide on the position of these. I probably also need, she could be having a little peck at something, couldn't she, with her looking down, or I've got to decide really what they're doing. I think we'll have them kind of like that. Need to have his legs coming down here, hers kind of there. Let's stick these on. He can be looking all proud of his family. So if I'm looking down. It doesn't matter at all, actually, what pattern paper you use for this at all. I mean, you can have psychedelic chickens if you want, really. They look like chickens to me. I don't know about you, but any kind of bird, really. Okay. Right, we need to put some legs on. This is the moment of truth, isn't it? Here's a fine line marker. This one is what size is this? 0.6. I'll cut that on. Don't know if it's a bit wide. Don't like that very much, but still, let's just have a look for some grass tufts. What colour do we need? Peeled paint. It's not quite right. Twisted citron is a bit on the bold side. I'm thinking peeled paint. Yes, peeled paint. That looks pretty good, actually, doesn't it? That was the colour that was kind of in my head. Where's a card base? Here's my card base. and we just need a sentiment. I found this set of Hero Arts sentiments. They've discoloured incredibly. They haven't been kept out in sunlight or anything like that, but they still stamp beautifully. So with the same ink, with my Distress Oxide peeled paint, I've just stamped it here. So I'm going to find a little die and cut that out, and I'm going to pop it onto the card. Now, will that fit? Look at that, absolutely perfect. I keep a bunch of sentiment dies on the magnetic sheet at the back of my desk so that I can just have a look at quite a few of them and see which one is probably the best dimension. So put a piece of foam tape on this. So where do we put this? Just there, I think. Just saying hello. So another way of using up those scraps of patterned paper, just another way of using patterned paper, and this time we happen to have a card with an envelope that matches. So have a little look in those trays and drawers and shelves and goodness knows what, and see what you can find and have a little use up session. Be good fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon.